Om Jijin Jipatondo, Sanje Kunjingo, Rasa Jogo, Sotun Zaba, Zavala Manala Guja, Yenda Sanje Kundayana, Kate Sanje Lejala Baya, Tizavala Mazo, and the Tazoto Alona Choloj, Nelo Dova Java Chenjelo, Tabjeto Jere Soto, Chenjamento de Japonjomba, Sejilombo, Dabo Jebego, Shajezo, Delanguja, Tamewa Satoji Jangodo, Mantashi Jangomo Jetawa, Tanjesiba, Kunji Jujeje, Nyame Dekon Renjangoja. Kuboni. So, as a always be any practice we do, virtue as a beginning and virtue as a middle and virtue as an end is really important. So generate the virtue as a beginning of the motivation of the bodhicitta. That today there are many sentient beings who are not capacity to receive teaching or practice, or there are many are not that much free. So by this opportunity to learn Dharma, when I learn Dharma, I can put onto practice whatever I learn. When I practice Dharma, one day I will be liberated from the samsara. When I liberate from the samsara, I will benefit those all beings who are not fortunate. So that is what we call the motivation of a bodhicitta, that I want to help every sentient beings from my own capacity. Because in the samsara, there are countless of sentient beings tormentously experience the great suffering, and most of them go through the suffering, but they don't have a skill to free themselves from that circumstance. So today I'm going to be motivated myself, dedicated myself to build some kind of a courage, some kind of a quality, some kind of a wisdom, that one day I can liberate them, those mothers, because in Nagarjuna, in the letter to friend by Nagarjuna said, even one being your mother, if you try to count, this earth is not enough to make the pill, to try to make the numbers of pills from the earth. So that is hypothetically, if somebody tried to make this earth as a pill, and all those pills put one side and try to count one being being your mother, if you try to count, there's you cannot finish counting from the earth's, can say, pill. Yeah. So so that is showing as a sentient being, even one sentient being, being your mother, as a countless of number. So, and when we try to look every sentient beings, and sentient being are limitless, and but right now our capacity to try to help them is really small, and the need of the sentient being is great. So we don't have enough skill and wisdom and knowledge to help those beings. from what they need. So that way we have to build the wisdom through the hearing, contemplate, and meditation. That's called through those three. Then one day we will achieve the Buddhahood. When we achieve the Buddhahood, then what kind of quality we have? And I say, then the Buddhahood's quality have no limited, no boundary. That I think I can say that limitless quality is a come from the motivation. If you have if you build what called the immeasurable motivation, loving kindness, compassion toward every sentient being, that make your quality as when you achieve a Buddhahood, your quality of the benefited sentient being have no measure. But if you have your motivation of the practice is limited, then your when you achieve the enlightenment, your quality will be limited, much as what you build the motivation. So that is showing as a mind is really powerful. I think daily basic. If our mind made up, then body will follow with that. But when mind stop, and body immediately feel tired or so doesn't want to go anymore. So that is how can say how impact from the mind's attitude to body's strength. So that is showing us we need a great motivation of the Bodhicitta. Now, when we talk about the motivation of the Bodhicitta, one way it sounds really beautiful. Wow, Bodhicitta is really nice, it's wonderful. But I mean, getting there, building that Bodhicitta. Can say building that Bodhicitta take time, need effort, need skill. Does not come easily. So, like for example, you have to start from the how to generate the loving kindness, compassion. Then from the loving kindness, compassion is when it's build the strength. Then you can what called the you can sensibly you can meditate aspiration bodhicitta, because if you don't have a loving kindness, compassion enough, aspiration bodhicitta doesn't work. So what is it really need for the condition of the generating loving kindness, compassion is you have to know the faults of samsara. Without knowing of the faults of samsara, you cannot generate bodhicitta or loving kindness, compassion. With the what called knowledge of the faults of samsara, which is in normally we talk about the suffering of samsara, then finally you can sense, oh, every sentient being are suffering in the samsara. I really need help them somehow, somewhere, in some way. I have to help them. So how you can help? So then it bring from there to start to, now if I really need help, if I really want to help them, first I have to become a Buddhahood myself. Without becoming myself Buddhahood, I cannot help them. So that is how we loving kindness and compassion help you to generate bodhicitta. Once you have that aspiration bodhicitta and action bodhicitta, engaging to the six paramita and those actually action is not that difficult. Once you build that aspiration, if you don't have that aspiration, then actually engaging on the action of the bodhisattva conduct is it may give you certain, what called effort. If you have effort or to try until you lose your what called that. Interest, yeah. So once you lose that excitement, then you will give up. But if you have that loving kindness, compassion, even you lose the excitement, you will remain continually. Like for example, when we get job, at the beginning maybe you get some kind of excitement from the job, but slow, you will bore with the job. You get bored, but you're not going to quit immediately until you have a plan to, somewhere else get job or somewhere to provide yourself. Otherwise, you're not going to quit. Reason is, even you get bored, still you need that. You have to work there. You have to get job. Without job, you cannot support. So that is a show you as if you have this motivation, reason to why you have to practice the what called bodhicitta, then even your excitement is gone, you continue, your practice will remain continual. So that is how build that strength, or we normally call the patience or perseverance. That patience and perseverance come when you see the beneficial from that, when you see the reason why you have to practice. When you see that reason, and when you see what kind of a benefit you will get from that practice, then you're not going to give up. Otherwise, sometimes we like to start certain kind of practice, and after the little while we give up. We get bored. When we get bored, they said, "Oh, this is no more fun," So I want to do something else. So then we switch. So many things. So I think maybe those all have to do based on how much mentally strength you build for your practice. When you build more mentally strength, even it's really difficult. So for how do you build mental strength? As one way is like we take a vow. We make ourselves commitment. One time, Milarepa was doing staying in the mountain. He said, until I get a certain degree of realization, if I leave this mountain, all the protectors kill me, take my life, or give me a really harsh punishment if I try to escape from this my what called the commitment, or this my vow what I just make. So something like that. I think vow is a vow or commitment is you don't have to make big one. I think from the beginning, making big one is also a little bit mistake. I think from the beginning, make small one. Just anything. Like even just make small one vow that said, every day I'm going to do 3 prostration. For example, no matter what happened, I'm going to do 3 prostration. That is pretty much everyone can do 3 prostration. Or say every day I'm going to recite the refuge prayer for 3 times. Something like that. And no matter what happened, make sure you're not breaking that one. Just make small one. Then from that to increase. Otherwise, from the beginning, you said, "Oh, I'm going to do 100,000 prostration." Then you try to do from the beginning, maybe like a few days, each day maybe a few hundred or a few thousand. But after the week, then get bored. Maybe 100,000 is maybe too much. Maybe I do 10,000. Then decrease, Then even 10,000 is becoming 1,000. Then maybe say, oh, maybe I will do some other time, maybe later, maybe next day. So that way, I think anything is what we're making commitment is try to build from the small way, from the small one. Just make small one. That's simple enough to, you don't have to be lose your job, or you don't have to be lose your any kind of a normal function in your life from that commitment. Then based on that commitment, how functioning, and you can increase with that. Nothing wrong with that. If you make a big commitment and didn't do that one, then it's become a really bad habit. One thing is you make yourself a really bad habit. Two things is people never going to believe on you, no matter what you say. Some people making, oh, I'm going to do this year, this many frustration. Somebody told me, but they haven't done one. so that is, so that way I think when we have this enthusiasm, we want to do big one. Then we think I can do this one, but reality is not that easy. So, some people can go to retreat, for example, long period of time. Lots of people cannot go. But you have to be satisfied with what you can do. From there to then plan the build, then better. So I think that is how what does motivation mean. How to provide or how to keep that motivation and that action alive with this kind of in the Vajrayana tradition is called the samaya, commitment, vow. So in the dharmas, in the Buddhism, there's one Tibetan master's quote. They said, "Holy being never make many commitments. Once they make the commitment, even risk of their own life, they never break that commitment." I think that's how they become a holy being. Make sense? So I think that way, if we want to accomplish that, or anything what we want to accomplish, just build some kind of structure, how to support. Like one thing is you have to know what kind of benefit you get from that. Two is you have to make yourself as some kind of a vow that you're not going to break this one until it finish. So that build good habit to then achieve a Buddhahood. Otherwise, when we talk about the Buddhahood, seems like just there, Normally, we all have a Buddha nature and this and that. Seems like it's really simple, easy, maybe just there behind this wall, just need only walk out of that door. It's not that happen that way to this. The reason is because our habit is really strong. We have really strong habit. That habit keep us avoid from that. Everything is true. We have the Buddha nature. In Latin and samsara is really like a side by side of hand. Can say all those texts mention everything is true, but that slight what called the small differential is really thick. Even it's not really thick, it's really solid. That solid is built by our habit. So that way, it takes time. We have to be patient. So for that, when it is taking time, what help us is build confidence on that result. There will be some kind of result come if we put effort. And Miller Rebbe said, as long as you dig the ground, somehow you will see the water. You will find the water long as you dig the ground. If you put effort enough to drop the tree, some point it will make the fire. Same thing as a human being. When we put the effort, anyone have same what called the ability to can become Buddhahood. So then, what is the Buddhahood? Where it is? Where we have to go? You know. So when normally we say, oh, we want to reborn to the Pure Land, yeah. We want to reborn in the Pure Land. For the reborn for the Pure Land, you have to wait until death. Yeah, then nobody want to die actually. You know, we want to be reborn in the Pure Land. Same time we do Amitabha prayer, Amitayu. We do both Amitabha and Amitayu. Amitabha, when we pray into the Amitabha saying, please reborn me there. Then we pray into the Amitayu saying, please don't me die. Yeah? So you can do both. Without death, you can be born in the Pure Land. Yeah? That is it. You have to change your perception. Once your perception is changed, this is the Pure Land. When your perception is totally positive, this is the Pure Land. You don't need to go anywhere. When your perception is negative, this is the hell. You don't need to die to be reborn in the hell. You know, so that way you can do both together, Amitabha and Amitayu. So that reason now we have to know that what is a Buddhahood. Verse, look, the 209, yeah, same number. That's we stopped last time. Yeah. 209. That so you have this also what called the word that called the self-existent omniscience, Buddhahood, supreme nirvana, inconceivability, victory over the enemy, and the self nature. These seven what called the seven name that is called the Buddha. First one is said self-existence. Self-existent means spontaneously present. You don't need to put effort, or you don't need to cause and condition to build, or cause and condition to born it. You know, it's naturally there. Also, it's called the self-existence because it does not rely on anything else. So, like a space. Space is self-existent because nothing need for existence of the space. Nothing else need to rely to the for the existence of the space. So that reason, Buddhahood is called the self-existent one. Second is omniscience. Buddha have a perfect knowledge. Buddha have a perfect knowledge because Buddha is completely awakened from the delusion. We are we are like right now ourselves is a samsaric sentient being. I think samsaric sentient being is like a dreamy in sleep. Completely deluded. Until we wake up, we cannot recognize a dream as a dream. We think it's real. So our experience of the life is like a dreamy, in deep sleep and dreamy. Then enlightened beings like Arhat, their experience of the phenomena is like a remembering the dream. You're not actually dreaming that, but you remember that. From that memory, you have some kind of feeling. If you have good dream, you have a joy feeling. Oh, I had a really wonderful dream last night. You happily share to someone. When you have a bad dream, you get some kind of sad. I'm not sure I really have a bad dream, this and that. You get even emotion now, and you can feel that. Some degree of presence still there. So Arhat's experience on the phenomena is like after the awake, you remember in the dream. It's not that solid, but still there some part. Then Buddha is completely free from that. So when it's completely free from those delusion, that is becoming perfect knowledge. So that reason Buddha is omniscience. Second, that we call the omniscience. And third is called the Buddhahood. Buddhahood, I think we will go back to the name. Buddha mean, awakening one and expand the knowledge. In the I think we talk last few weeks. There's two kind of kayas: Vimukti kaya and Dharmakaya. Vimukta kaya means the liberate, freedom. Muktya is in Sanskrit, it means the completely give free from all defilement. Is called the Vimukta kaya. In the Tibetan, the Buddha name normally we use two. One is called the Sangye. Sang means awakening one. Another one is called the Jangchup. Jang means the liberated. Then Dharmakaya is the quality one. Like once explain the like lotus completely. So that way is the Buddhahood means the completely purified of the obscuration and fully knowledge. That is what is Buddhahood name. Then supreme nirvana. There is a nirvana. There are four kinds of nirvana actually. Arhat, who are free from samsara, is named as a nirvana. Solitary realization, free from samsara, that is also nirvana. Bodhisattva from the first bhumi to 10th bhumi, they also have a nirvana. But Buddha is the only who are completely free from obscuration. Of the liberation and obscuration, the omniscience. That reason is called the supreme nirvana. Also, Arhat and solitary realization. And Bodhisattva, they call the liberate or nirvana. Samsaric sentient beings in samsara, that is called the dualistic, samsara and nirvana. When achieved, the Buddha gone beyond that. So that way it's called the Buddha is the non-dualism of the samsara and nirvana. It doesn't mean they mix together. It's gone beyond that, beyond concept of samsara and nirvana. That is same. That reason is called the supreme nirvana. Then, what is inconceivability? Yeah. Inconceivability, because enlightenment is not object to intellect minds, can say speculation. Yeah, intellect mind cannot speculate as a enlightenment. Intelligently, you cannot figure out what is the enlightenment. Because enlightenment or nirvana or Buddhahood have no word that can express. There's no particular word that can express, can tell this is enlightenment. Yeah. So that way it's called inconceivable. Or most profound prajnan, or most profound wisdom. So that most profound is beyond the concept of expression by ordinary language. So that way it's called inconceivable. Yeah. Then okay, inconceivable. Then said 6. What is said? Victory. Victory. I always miss up this word. Victory. Victory. Okay. Victory over enemy, over the enemies. What is the enemy? Who is the enemy?
Someone's negative thoughts.
Yes. No, we said enemy is always we project someone else, you know. They are my enemies. Shantideva said, they are not enemy worse as your own inside enemies. Because the outside enemy, worst things can do is maybe take this life. No more than that can harm. But inside enemy, of course, definitely can harm this life. Also can harm life after this. And Shantideva said, only inside enemy can send you to the hell, not from the outside enemies. Can say mundane enemy. Mundane enemy cannot send you to hell, but your own enemy can send you hell. You know, so that is the really truly enemy is our own emotion. Negative emotion is the worst enemy, because your what called the physical enemy of the mundane, can say mundane enemy, cannot follow you 24 hours. But your emotion can follow you 24 hours. Make sense? So that reason, really victory over the enemy means our own emotion. When Buddha was under the Buddha tree, victory over the enemy, he didn't defeat the outside, he defeated the inside. You know, like when first time he got the false message, that was an enemy of the ignorance. When he got the false message, he didn't follow that false message. immediately recognized this is the false message. He didn't follow that message, so that way he was victor, yeah? Yeah, victorious. Then victorious. That is.
He was the victor.
He was the victor. Then, second one is, of course, show us those all girls performing in front of him. He didn't ask them to move away. He not bothered them, Let them do whatever they want. When he was meditating, he controlled his own mind. He used as a technique how to free from that emotion. Because when he used that technique, it not bother him anymore. And the text saying, oh, they turned to really ugly. I'm not sure they really physically turned to the ugly. But for him, doesn't matter how attractive they look. Because he know how to subdue his own mind. So it's like when you give a piece of meat to the dog, that is the most desirable. Yeah? But when you try to give that piece of meat to the cow, nothing for them. So that meat is not really desirable. That how we conceiving. Make sense? So meat doesn't need change. Change the projecting, how to project that. Then you can free from that. So that is how project. When Buddha was meditating on the ugliness, he is totally free from that. Then the son of the Mara came with the army, tried to harm Buddha. He didn't raise his own army, military. He didn't build the defense wall. Make sense? He didn't do anything. He only had a sincerely care about them, compassion to them, So that how he liberate his own mind. He didn't remove those army. Make sense? So that is what is a victory. Your own emotion. You can see there's one quote said, because of the ground is not smooth, if you try to cover the whole ground, there are no enough leather to can cover the ground in the planet. But if you make really nice shoes, this is equally same as a completely ground is a cover. Make sense? So that is what ground is a cover now. So that is what it means. All the meditation is about that. Practice is about that. How much we can. In the earlier in the Buddhism, there are no Vinaya rules. Right now we have those lots the monks and nuns. There's 200 or some numbers of the rules. At the beginning, those rules are not exist. So Vinaya was really simple. Buddha said, do not engage to the non-virtues and accumulate the great amount of merits and control your own minds. This is my teaching. That reason Gamboba said, if a practitioner did not practice correct way, your Dharma practice can be caused to reborn to the lower realm. Because if you not use the Dharma as how to subdue your mind, yeah? If you don't use Dharma as a subdue your mind, then it's the same as a negative. So that is what is a victory, yeah? Victory. Victory over the enemies. Then seventh one is called the self nature. Self nature means no one can give you Buddhahood. You know, even Buddha life come in front of you. He will say, I bless you. You know? But Buddha, there no way can give you that, oh, this is enlightenment, I will give you. You know, some kind of like big chunk of peace to you, said, okay, now you achieve enlightenment. Because this self-nature means self-cognized nature. Yeah? So, cognize, yeah? Cognize gyan.
Recognized? Self-recognized?
Yes, cognize or recognize. Buddha said, I show you how to achieve the enlightenment, but it's up to you, achieve or not. That way I always use Google as a Buddha. Because Google give you all the information, but you have to follow with them, you know. So that reason in the Buddhism, Buddha's statue is not high as a Dharma. You're not allowed to put the Buddha statue on the Dharma text. You can put the Dharma text on the Buddha statue. Because Buddha is in the Dharma text. That wisdom is actually Buddha, not the statue. We call the Buddha. It's not talking about the Siddhartha's body as a Buddha. If we talk about the Siddhartha's body, then nothing have to do those all what we just talk. It also I said, then you have to born to in India if you want to become a Buddha. Otherwise you have no chance. If the Siddhartha's body is the only Buddha. Make sense? You know, so it's not talking about the Siddhartha's body. It's talking about what he achieved, his knowledge, his wisdom, his all that realization. Make sense? That is we have chance to we can achieve that one. That reason we said we can become Buddha. Otherwise, no matter how much effort you put, you never ever become Siddhartha. Really, there no chance anyone cannot become Siddhartha. Because Siddhartha is a one mind stream, and you have your own mind stream. Make sense? Every individual have their own mind stream. Cannot mix those mind streams, never become one. So that way, we have no chance to become a Siddhartha, but we have chance to become a Buddha. That's what we try to put effort. Make sense? So that is no one can give us. Nobody can give us that Buddha. We have to put our own self to practice and realize. That is what is mean the self nature of self-cognized nature. So those seven are what is the Buddha mean. Seven name. You know, self-existent, omniscient one, Buddhahood, supreme nirvana, inconceivability, victory over the enemy, and self-nature. Those seven names are what is mean the Buddha, what we try to achieve. Then it is categorized according to its quality of profound vastness and magnanimity. Yes. Actually, it's normally used as a, you know, lots of people use as a Mahatma. Gandhi's name is, have you heard that? Mahatma? Mahatma Gandhi. Yeah, Mahatma Gandhi. That Sanskrit word Mahatma has come from that same. They translate. Actually, it means the great being. I never heard this word before. Magnanimity. Magnanimity.
It's a way of describing something as magnificent.
Ah, okay.
Magnanimity.
Yeah, magnanimity. Magnanimity as a great being. A Sanskrit word called the Mahatma. You know. So. That is the Buddha, profound vastness and magnanimity. What is the profound? Profound means the Dharmakaya. You know, Dharmakaya is a profound because very difficult to understand. That way it's called the profound. And vastness is talking about the Sambhogakaya. Sambhogakaya have a great power to help being. That way it's called vastness. And magnanimity or greatness as talk about the Nirmanakaya. Nirmanakaya manifests as ordinary beings and liberated sentient beings who are not fortunate to can see the Dharmakaya, or who are not fortunate to can see the Sambhogakaya. So that came from the compassion. That way earlier I mentioned how important the motivation. You know, Buddha have no conception of, oh, I want to born there, that way I can help them. They are beyond that conception, no longer exists that kind of, that what we have. But they born there because they make the commitment at the one day or in the path. I said, I want to become a Buddhahood. So when I become a Buddhahood, I will help this way. Like we have label like Amitabha Buddha. When we pray, easily reborn to the Devajan, because Amitabha Buddha make that commitment. Said, until I build quality enough to anyone call my name to reborn my pure land, I'm not going to become a Buddhahood. That is his commitment, his vow Amitabha Buddha made. Same things medicine Buddha make. Until when somebody call my name, cure all the sickness, I'm not going to become Buddhahood. You know, so each Buddha we label, you know, like healing Buddha, the Vajrasattva as a purification Buddha, Manjushri as a wisdom Buddha, generosity as a compassion Buddha, Vajrapani as a powerful Buddha. Those all came from the motivation, or I can say commitment, what they made at the beginning of their path. So that is that reason, that compassion from the motivation of bodhicitta, when they make a motivation, or when they make a commitment, or when they make a vow, because of that compassion, even they achieve the nirvana, still they come samsara to help sentient being continually. So that is called the
Magnanimity.
Yeah, great being is easier to say, or magnificent, you know. I mean, obviously think, staying with a great being with the middle of the great Bodhisattva is much easier than staying with the lunatic sentient beings. Yeah? When you have to come to this crazy madness in the world and try to teach them much harder, they try to stay in the enlightened state and try to teach to the high bodhisattva. Yeah? So that way they need a really strong compassion can be something like that. Great courage. Or you have other choice. You have no choice. When like school, when school loan paid by government send you anywhere, you have to go there. You have no choice. Or you have to have great courage and compassion to go there. That's for example. Make sense? So same like that, when Nirmanakaya Buddha manifests as a samsara, that's need great compassion. Because of that great compassion, still they can come to the samsara. So here now, those are generally, now what is the Savivagakaya or Dharmakaya? This is basically talking about the Dharmakaya. Of those Buddhas, essence Kaya should be, essence Kaya, Dharmakaya or Savivagakaya, should be known as having 5 intrinsic characteristics. And it brief 5 qualities. There's a 5 characteristics and 5 qualities. What is the 5 characteristics? I said, it is uncreated and indivisible. What is the utterly P-U-R-G-E-D?
Purged. Means sending out anything bad.
Clean?
Purged.
Yeah.
Like when you throw up, you purge your stomach.
Oh, okay.
Flush out.
Okay. So main point is uncreated, indivisible.
Purged could be like purified.
Yes.
Yeah, purified.
Okay. It is uncreated. Buddhahood is uncreated because Dharmakaya have no beginning. That reason we said we have the Buddhahood. We have a Buddha nature. Dharmakaya itself had no beginning, so that way it's uncreated. But if Buddha, Dharmakaya is created, have to be end some point, have to be ceased. Buddhahood never ceases. That way it's not created. That way it's called uncreated, indivisible. Uncreated because it's not beginning. And is not abide anywhere. That way there's no end. So indivisible union of the untrained Dhammadhatu and perfectly realized Gyan. That way it's called indivisible. Then second, as I said, purity of the 2 extreme. Yeah? Purified. So there's a 2 extreme. We call the overstatement and understatement. 2 extreme. Or incorrect assumption is called the overstatement, yeah, and another was negative attribution as a understatement. So free from those 2, that way is called purified, pure, because free from those extremes. Definitely liberated, free from 3 obscuration. So there's a 3 from obscuration. Obscuration of the emotion, Obscuration of the liberation, obscuration of the omniscience, and obscuration of the equipoise. So, what is the obscuration of the liberation mean? I think you have to think about the name, why it's choose as a liberation, obscuration of the liberation. Because as long as you have the afflictive emotion like ignorance, attachment, aversion, you are not free from suffering. Long as you have those, you are not liberated. Those two cannot be together. So that is what is our main obscuration of the liberation is our own afflictive emotion. Then obscuration of the omniscience. This is a kind of interesting part. Like for example, we call this is a cup and said this is for the drinking tea. Yeah? Now, if somebody said, no, this is not cup. This is something else. You're going to argue with that. Because you built certain way in your image, in your head. Like we build phenomena exists, really solid. That built habit, many generations, many lifetimes. Now our habit is so solid, everything becomes solid. That impact, even in the dream, you couldn't cross the wall. Even in the dream, everything is solid. That is how we creating the obscuration of the omniscience. When you believe this is something, you couldn't go beyond that. You are stuck there. That reason Thich Nhat Hanh said, knowledge is obstacles. If you want to go to beyond, you want to go to unlimited with your brain, you have to let go. One day when you learn how to let go, you can be completely free, then you can go much as you want. But right now our brain is completely kind of tight. Said, oh, this is a book, this is this is that. We label, cannot change from there. We couldn't go further than that. Yeah? So, I heard volcano have a fish.
Yeah.
I heard that. Somewhere I heard that somebody caught the fish, and when they try to boil in the water, they try to cook. When they boil water, fish became live. This is what I heard. You may say it's from the gene or from the there, this, but that is built many generations. That habit. We said, oh, fire is hot, it burn. Yeah. So that way for us, now this become a habit of, oh, fire is hot, it can be burned. So we believe in that. Because of that belief is really strong, it will burn. Then if fire is really hot, nothing changed from that. Why Buddha didn't burn from the fire? Why Pema Sambhava didn't burn from the fire? So we have to ask that question too. Because we believe fire is hot, it burn. Fire is hot, it burn. We repeat that again and again, many times. Now it's becoming real. So now we couldn't change from the fire is burn. From there to couldn't change anything else. Make sense? So that is it's not. I'm not saying it's from this life's your habit or this life's information make you that way. Countless of life, countless of emotion, habit, condition. Yeah, emotion. Can say emotionally conditioned. Yeah, habitual tendency. Yeah, so that is what is omniscient will block. Once we label something, then we couldn't go to more than that. We couldn't agree other than that, can say. So from there to block, now you couldn't go further than that. Okay, this is cup. This is only cup. As I mentioned earlier, obviously, and when we think carefully, this life, the dog conscious, born with the dog body, said when they see the meat, they said this is food. Next life, that conscious is born with the cow's body, and then they never going to say this is a food when they see the meat. When they see the grass, they said this is a food. So I don't know how to explain, but I mean I heard food also have to do something with our genetic. Have to go through some kind of genetic to like some people can become a vegetarian easily, some people couldn't become. They have to do something with the genetic. So I don't know. But basically, those are also part of the how to build us, how to what called the obscure, can say obscure from the omniscient. Then obscuration, the equipoise means any kind of meditation, distraction. So this is free from the what called, yes it, three obscurations: defilement, idea, hindrance to mystery in meditation. So defilement means the afflicted emotion. Idea, yeah, idea, as earlier I mentioned, idea mean this is cup. That's the idea. Now you cannot go further than that because you build that idea. Then hindrance to mystery in the meditation mean the kind of subtle obscuration that cause to meditate. I think this is easy way to you can. When you meditate, what is disturbing you?
Distracting thoughts.
Yes, that thoughts come from the habitual tendency, memory. Can say yeah. It's not immediate thought. It's just many lifetimes memory that build. That memory is coming back. So that is disturbing you. Then it is a stainless, completely beyond the concept. So it's a stainless, free of the obscuration, and this is beyond the concept of ordinary conceptual thought. So that way, stainless and completely beyond the concept, and luminous clearly through the being, the domain of the yogin. So it means the only practitioner can experience this one. It cannot be subject to the intellect, mind. Yogin and through the Dhamma Dhatu being quintessentially pure. quintessentially pure mean the naturally pure, yeah? The same as a naturally pure. Nobody can make that pure. So those are the 5 characteristic. Then 5 quality is it. Savivakakaya is the truly endowed with the quality of incalculability, incalculability. No,
There's a couple different words that could be, we have a different translation. What's it spelled?
Yes, no one calculate. That's easier. Inconceivability. Yeah, incomparability, and ultimately purity. So Tibetan called the Shelto member, Tam member, Sangto member, Nyamba member. No one can measure. Yeah? Who can measure the space? No one can measure the space. Dhammakaya is like that. No one can measure. Who can count as a space? I mean, normally said, oh, this is this space, this is Canada space, this US space, this is Mexican space. But how you can count that one without using the ground? So same as Dharma Dhatu. Our sentient being, we all have Dharmakaya. Based on our body, we can count. How many Dharmakaya here? Yeah? But Dhammakaya itself, you cannot count. Like when you make the room in this house, you mark, can say, you can count as a space, how many space there. But when you remove all the mark, space, you cannot count that. That space is still there, same. So that the same as the Dharmakaya is like that. And beyond the concept of that way Osho said Buddha is misunderstood. It means all the teaching what Buddha taught is based on the conventionally taught, but ultimate is beyond the ordinary expression. Nobody can express that ultimate. So. And there are nothing to compare. There are no other example spaces like this. For example, for the space, you cannot put other example. Same as there are no compatible that can put something like Buddha. You know, that way is incomparability and ultimate purity. Because all those 3 obscurations, emotionally, cognitively, meditative absorption, all those 3 are completely pure, so that way it's called the ultimately pure. It is respectively immeasurable and so forth, because it's a vast, unquantifiable, beyond the scope of the intellect speculation, unique and right of even conditioning. I think pretty much repeating. Inquantifiable mean the cannot count. Beyond the scope of the intellectual speculation mean the
Can't think.
yes, intelligent mind cannot. Then it said unique. Unique mean
There's nothing like it. You can't
yes.
compare it.
Only Buddha have this one. This call it only Buddha have. That way it's called the unique. Rate of even conditioning. Rate of even conditioning is the same as a word called the habitual tendency. Subtle obscuration. Subtle obscuration is free. Now it's the Sambhogakaya. So, I mean, as I think last time I mentioned, this thing is really useful. Right now we just talk about the Dhammakaya. It's really useful if you practice in Vajrayana. And you have done the Ngondro practice. After the Ngondro, then you will receive the certain called the oral transmission, of the appointed the nature of mind.
So pointing out instruction.
Pointed out instruction?
Pointing out the nature of mind, yeah.
Yes. So if you receive that one, then this will really help. That reason, actually, Kambopa taught as a Sudra tradition or Mahamudra based on the Uddara Tantra. So, then the Sambhogakaya. So, Dharmakaya is the kind of like a source of everything. From that to manifest a two kaya called the Rupakaya. Rupakaya is all the high being like Bodhisattva from the 8th to 10th woman Bodhisattva, they can see Sambhogakaya. And the lower beings, especially samsara beings, or from the path of the accumulation to then path of the seeing, being see Nirmanakaya. So that is showing us don't judge immediately what you perceived to someone. Not necessarily your perceived is true, because sometimes even some people see negative to Buddha. One monk have been with the Buddha 20 plus, being Buddha's attendant, not just disciple. Buddha's attendant is every day there. 20 plus years. Then still he haven't seen anything good things on Buddha. And one day he said, I'll serve you 20 some years. You have nothing special except one light on your body. And basic quality, basic knowledge, we have not different. I have much as you have. So why I have to serve you? He said that to Buddha. So that is showing us until our own perception is pure enough, we couldn't see even Buddha as a Buddha. Make sense? So that reason, for even seeing as a Nirmanakaya Buddha, forget about the Sambhogakaya Buddha. Even seeing as a Nirmanakaya Buddha, you need to get into the path of the accumulation. If you're not yet into the path of the accumulation, even you couldn't perceive Nirmanakaya Buddha as a Nirmanakaya Buddha. Like that monk couldn't see Buddha as a Buddha. Even he spent 20 some years with the Buddha. Make sense? So it's not only that Buddha can show himself as a Buddha. That reason why there's a Sambhogakaya and Nirmanakaya. Other way, I mean, if Buddha show only Sambhogakaya to the high being and show only Nirmanakaya to the lower being, then Buddha have what called the discrimination. You know, Buddha cannot have that discrimination. I think Buddha want to show everyone is equally same, but we couldn't perceive. The higher being, what they can see, they call that is Sambhogakaya. And ordinary being, what they can see, that is called the Nirmanakaya. It can become that way. So like if you really want to see object, you need good vision or you have to buy really good glasses. Then you will see. When that object is blurring to your eye, you cannot complain to the object. You have to fix your eye. Make sense? Same things. When you couldn't see clearly what is Buddha and the quality of those, you cannot complain to fix that one. You have to fix your own perception. So that reason there's two. Even Rupakaya have two kind of Buddha, can say, called the Sambhogakaya and Nirmanakaya, based on the audience, can say, or perceptors. You know, like Bodhisattva, high level Bodhisattva, they can perceive Sambhogakaya. We are not capable to perceive the Sambhogakaya, and I mean not we. Samsari beings not capable to perceive the Sambhogakaya and manifest a Nirmanakaya. One thing is that. Two things. Especially we are in the desire realm. Desire realm being liberated by desire is harder than liberated by the renunciation. Make sense? Because when Sambhogakaya form manifests as with those all the jewelry, then Buddha cannot say, oh, I'm wearing this all jewelry, but you have to renounce from everything. That's not good example, you know. Then without the giving up those all desirable things, we cannot renounce. Desire being what I'm. Make sense? So that reason, Nirmanakaya Buddha has come really simple. Baking food every day with just very simple clothes. It's called the Nirmanakaya form. And Sambhogakaya has come with all jewelry. I don't know that jewelry is exactly, that form is exactly that way in the Sambhogakaya Pure Land. But that's how we can understand. Make sense? So Buddha give really skillfully whatever we can understand. So one Tibetan scholar said, Buddha came in India. That way Nirmanakaya form is wearing like Indian kings. You call the what called the? Yeah, the what called the ornament. He wear like exactly like Indian king all times. He said, if Buddha came in Tibet, they definitely have involved the Sambhogakaya quality. One is involved, have to have one butter tea. Something really special butter tea. There's a Sambhogakaya quality. So that is how skillfully Buddha express what is the Sambhogakaya mean, what is the, but also those two basically come based on the perceivers. Perceiver, yeah? Perceivers condition. So here is the Sambhogakaya. It takes to the form the perfect expression because it's a perfectly caused, perfectly used the various dharma is a manifest, real, attributed, and is a uninterrupted activity which benefit being. It is a nature outflow of a pure compassion. So Sambhogakaya is take the form of perfect expression because it's a purely uses. Yeah. And we should what called various dharma as the expression, perfectly expression as a various dharma given the Sambhogakaya continually. It manifests really attributes. What does mean the really attributes?
Attribute is a characteristic.
Yeah, it's not just manifest with the character of the physically. Nirmanakaya, there's a two kind of manifestation called the pure manifestation and impure manifestation. Pure manifestation is a Shakyamuni Buddha with a major and minor mark. Impure manifestation is like a monkey, elephant. There are lots of different storytelling. Those called impure, but not that way. So this way is called the manifest as a real attributes with the major and minor mark. Always with the major and minor mark. It has an uninterrupted activity which benefit beings. So there's a two way to explain this one. Uninterrupted activities. One said, one Sambhogakaya form continually show to the disciple or to the student, continually without the ceasing. Some said even that Sambhogakaya is a cease and new Sambhogakaya come in that pure land, no one noticing that. Basically, Sambhogakaya's manifestation or Sambhogakaya's teaching, can say teaching in the pure land as an activity, as a continuing. Like Nirmanakaya, there's called the Parinirvana, more than 200 years ago. 2,500 years ago, Buddha's passed away. It's not continuing. The manifestation itself is not continuing, but Sambhogakaya never have that one. Continually manifest in the pure land of the Aganishta pure land. So that way is said it is an uninterrupted activity which benefit beings. It is a naturally outflow of a pure compassion. So now, as earlier I mentioned, how important the motivation. It come from that manifestation. Completely come from the compassion. If from that manifestation some kind of outcome for benefit for that Sambhogakaya, maybe there beside the compassion some kind of motivation. Make sense? But from that manifestation there nothing outcome benefit for the Sambhogakaya itself. So only reason manifests as a come from the compassion. For us, when we mundanely do, we have a what called both benefit. Like teacher go to school, teach. That way they get paycheck.
Mutually beneficial?
Huh?
Mutually beneficial?
Yeah, mutually beneficial. Give and take. Mundane way, everything is. So it's not necessarily always only come from the compassion. except maybe some volunteer and then maybe a little bit compassion, or I don't know, maybe they're long way to, goal. But normal job is something not beside the compassion. Of course, like nurse, doctor and teacher, they have a really great compassion, but it's not 100% came from the compassion. Make sense? They're involved, they call the paycheck. But when Sambhogakaya comes, they don't have any paycheck because there are no kind of outcome or benefit for them from those manifestations. So only reason is they manifest is because of the compassion. So the reason said, as I said, naturally outflow of the pure compassion. It fulfill expression completely, exactly, spontaneously, and without the conceptual agitation. And because it has a miraculous ability like those of the wish-fulfilling gem. So fulfill the aspiration means whatever we wish, whatever we desire, they will do. Fulfill completely and excellent, exactly, spontaneously. So this is also how come the enlightened activity is spontaneously, without the effort, without the thought. You see, because of the motivation. Right now, whatever motivation we build, that help us to become spontaneously when we become a Buddhahood. So that is spontaneously is without the conceptual agitation and miraculously ability. So it's like a wish-fulfilling gems. Wish-fulfilling gems can fulfill whatever you wish. So now you think, where's the wish-fulfilling gems? I can say, collectively there's karma, individual karma. There's two kinds of karma. Like, for example, what you share in the collectively in the country, that is the collective karma. Like United States. But individual in the US, people who live, everyone is not equal. Make sense? So that's individual karma. So we sentient being, we have collective karma and individual karma. So that collective karma is change. Once upon a time, you can rely on the wish-fulfilling gems, and they fulfill all your wishes. Now, those stones not going to fulfill all your wishes, because our collective karma is a change to the technology. Now our all wishes fulfilled by the technology. Machine do everything pretty much. Almost wish-fulfilling gems, One push the button, cook for you. One push the button, boil for water for you. You have to do nothing. Even sometimes that is too much for you. Makes sense? So this is what I heard, honestly. Somebody said that collective karma change. Now our collective karma is a technology. Maybe in the future someday, that technology can become history. Once upon a time, people use as a technology. I don't know then what going to happen, but so that is what we call the collective karma. So one time there is collective karma can use that everyone can use as a wish-fulfilling gem. Whatever they wish, come. So this is one story. In India, one king have wish-fulfilling gem, and he was so generosity. They say now that gem is in the Lhasa joke, Shakyamuni Buddha, is heart. And that wish-fulfilling gem, history is saying, is originally it got from the Naga And a person who got from the Naga promised that in future it will come back to the Naga land. So the Jogan Cathedral is here. Near Potala, there's one cape. It's called the Naga waiting cape. We see those Naga are waiting to take the wish fulfilling gem from the Lhasa to later in the Naga realm. They're waiting there. I don't know if that's true or not. So what I'm saying is that historical wish fulfilling gem talk lots of story in India. As they say right now inside the Jorambuch's heart, statue's heart. You know, some of you have been in Lhasa, and there's one main statue in Tibet. Yeah, Jokhang Temple, Jokhang Cathedral. Saying in that Joe's heart, that wish fulfilling gem is there. Historically, Indian one king's, which is he got from the Naga realm. They're long story, so I don't know if that's true or not. But they're saying it's a wish fulfilling gem. So that wish fulfilling gem, you have to do like 3 times a wash, 3 times a dry. First wash by the like salty water, and dry by the rough cloth, like fabric, wool fabric or rough one. And second is a wash by the like rice water, rice wash water, and dry by the ordinary cloth. Then third one is a wash by the medicine water, then dry by the silk, really soft silk. And after that, 3 times wash and 3 times dry, put on the Victoria banner and offering large, a great offering, and you pray, whatever you pray, it give you all your wish, fulfill all your wish. That is how they said wish fulfilling gem is like that. And I don't know if those are true or not, but it kind of sounds interesting. So Sabokakaya is like that, wish fulfilling gems.
I wish I had one.
Huh? So I'm saying is because our collective karma is not work. Even you have, it doesn't work anymore.
Maybe you put in a microwave.
Yeah.
And
I'm surprised nobody's used it to wish away, like, you know, all beings being enlightened.
I heard in Sikkim area, one guy, one day he found one really strange looking stone in the water, rock. So he thought, oh, this is really kind of funny looking or beautiful or some kind of, he really attractive one. He bought that and put in the showroom. And there's one pot, kind of like what called the bowl with the rice, and he left in there. And it's like after a little while, and maybe a month or later, and he saw the oil leaking on the ground. When he checked later, it's coming oil from that stone continually. Then he collect, even he offered the bottle of oil to Dalai Lama. I heard this one. So maybe there's something, there's nature giving you something. If you are like you open, open eye and just look around like Bonnydad, everywhere you may find something. Yeah. Just as a jam is not really really the virus has it, heals it, can assume. So likewise, all the embracing not in the appear to be through the circumstance of various beings. So now, if Dharmakaya is like that, why cannot show everyone? Why cannot see everyone? So here said, like you have really precious gem. Gem will change color, whatever put on the cloth. If you put on the green, it become a green. If you could put on the red, it is see as a red. So gem itself is not making color. The color is coming from the fabric, yeah. Same as when you have a open mind enough, you will perceive them. When you don't have that capacity, they're not going to show you. So as earlier I mentioned, it's nothing. We cannot, complain to the everything that way. Like a Genoma Pemo, the Genoma Pemo who start the union practice. So she got leprosy disease. So that way she had to stay in the cave. And she was practicing Yungne every day, pretty much. And Yungne had to do with the generosity. And a long time she did practice. After the long time, then one day she had a vision of generosity. And she said, "You are so unkind. Took that long to come to me." And Cheresi said, "That's not true. I was with you from the first day you start. But your own, vision couldn't see me. If you don't believe, just look my clothes." Because she had that disease, is mucus come out, so she is towing in the cave, and Genesis is all over the clothes, her mucus. So that is how even it took a long time to, perceive that way. So if you really want to see Buddha, work hard. Then it's called the. Now 12. Did I jump? Jump one page?
The 218.
Oh, wow. As you show, here is a 5 fact that those of uninterrupted speech, emanation, and the deed, through the fact that these are not all the contrived and do not manifest as a true identity. Do not manifest as true identity is only difficult, I think. As I show you as a all like Sambhogakaya, how many colors there? Some Sambhogakaya have a 4 head. Some Sambhogakaya have a 3 head. Some wrathful, some peaceful, some semi-wrathful. Some red, some yellow, some green, some blue. Those all different manifests. It's not their own identity. That's not their nature, but just manifest as a based on the pute, disciple. Puted or disciple. Purple, yeah. Pupil, yes, not pute. Pupil. Based on that people. So, yes. So
Student.
Yeah. Then in Nirmanakaya, there's a called the two kind of, as I mentioned, two kind of Nirmanakaya. We call the pure Nirmanakaya and impure Nirmanakaya. Impure Nirmanakaya is any kind of form comes. Buddha's manifestation have no limitation, no resting, no stopping. So continually. If there needs somebody say wind, Buddha manifests as a wind. When there is a need somebody say fire, Buddha manifests as a fire. element or any kind of element or anything object, why to can help other sentient being, Buddha can manifest that way. So, but that is not talking about here, Nirmanakaya. Here is talking about the pure manifestation with the major and minor mark like Shakyamuni Buddha, like Buddha Amitabha, like Buddha Maitreya. You know, and then, for example, Shakyamuni Buddha, especially Shakyamuni Buddha and Buddha Maitreya, they go through those 12 called the 12 deed of Buddha. Yeah, 12 deed of Buddhas. So here, through greatest compassion, knowing all the world, having seen all the world, while never leaving the Dharmakaya through various form, aberration by nature, the one excellent born into the highest birth. So this is even Dharmakaya manifests different form, different manifestation. Their mind state is always I mean, even Nirmanakaya, different manifest mind states always remain in the Dharmakaya state. Never remove from there. Within the removing from that, they can manifest. That is called the spontaneously, without the effort, without the concept. One time, and a condition comes right time, they manifest there. You know, so that is a first one from the 12. First one is called the excellent, born into the highest birth. This was, Buddha was before come to this earth, he was in the Tushita, giving teaching to those Gadram in the Tushita. Buddha before born to in the human realm. So that is talking about the highest birth. Then descend from the realm of the great joy. So there's a Tushita is also great joy. Why is it called the great joy? Because it's a great Dharma is continually there. Because after the Buddha, Shakyamuni comes, Maitreya became the throne holder and giving Dharma continually. So that's called the land of the great joy. Enter the royal womb. This is why Buddha chose the royal. Reason is at that time from the 4 different classes of the Indian, royal is the highest. When he chose the highest one, people show more respect. If he choose the lowest one, nobody going to listen to him. Nobody care if he make monks a low caste. Yeah? Not that much big deal when Dr. Ambedkar said all the low caste come to the Buddhism. But when Buddha himself was a royal family and he accepting all the low caste in Indian condition, Indian system, Indian culture, that's a big deal. You know, so that reason he was born in the royal family. The holy born at the Jambudvipa. Jambudvipa is our world. This name is called the Jambudvipa. There's a long story, but it's just name, so just call it the Jambudvipa. Perfectly skilled in each and is science and art. So when Buddha was young, he was master to all those like archer, fighting on the horse and all those, and also language, every art royal family have to go through. Everything he learned. Then delighting in his royal consort company, he married with Yashodhara, have son Rahul. So then renouncing, because all those headache, even he was born to the royal powerful, there's so much drama. in his family, really there was so much drama because all those time most of it's a joint family. And joint family, if you're not careful, joint family have lots of drama. So I mean he have two more uncles. His brother have two more brothers. I mean his father have two more brothers, and they all live together. So that way Devadatta was enemy from the beginning because of the family crisis. Then he saw lots of suffering outside there. That reason he said renunciation. Practicing the path of the hardship, he did 6 years. Difficultly going into the place called the enlightenment, and very hard. This is called after the 6 years he practiced, then he went to under the Buddha tree. Under the Buddha tree, there's a stone. People these days always said, what called Bodh Gaya. Bodh Gaya immediately talk about the stupa. Stupa is not Bodh Gaya. Bodh Gaya is talking about between the stupa and a tree, Bodhi tree. There's a stone. That's called the Vajrasana, Vajraseat. Because Buddha first tried to go to Vajra Peak mountain. Tried to meditate. Then mountain was shaking. Buddha thought, maybe I did make some mistake. Then the goddess came, said, it's not your fault. Ordinary earth cannot hold you. You have to go to the Bodh Gaya. There's a Vajra seat. On that seat, past 3 Buddha became enlightenment on that seat. So you have to use that stone as a seed to achieve the nirvana. Other ordinary ground cannot hold you. So that is talking about the he had said, going into the place called the enlightened, very hard. He's vanquished the host of evil. That is what we talk this morning. Victory over the Maras. Then perfectly enlightenment. Once he completely free from those defilement, then he achieved the perfectly enlightenment. After he achieved the nirvana, 49 days Buddha didn't talk. They have a reason why he didn't talk. Dharma is not for
Secular?
No.
Proselytizing.
Merging.
Merchants?
Yeah.
Secular people, non-religious people.
No.
No?
Dharma is not for sale. Merchandise, yeah. Also, it's really supposed to be Dharma cannot give teaching without the request. Except there are some long-term reasons. You look the Buddha's Sutra, most of they are requests or asked by someone. Except few sutra Buddha taught for the future's Dharma existent, continuing. Make sense? Continuing of the benefit, for the benefit of continuing the Dharma, Buddha taught few sutra. But other than that, most of sutra are requested by someone or asked by someone. Buddha didn't go to the mountain or somewhere to start writing anything. Everything what we have Buddha's teaching is all have to do with someone. When Buddha was discussing with someone, when they asked some question, and Buddha gave answer for that. When somebody requests, like you read the Lhasa Sutra, they always say who requests. Sure, who requests. Most of those sutra. That is showing as a Dharma is not give just immediately, because when you give that way, people not put the value. When people don't put the value, they don't put, They don't cherish on that. And they say, oh, I can get anywhere, no problem. That market is everywhere. As long as you have a little bit of money, you can get from everywhere. So that's not good for the Dharma. Because when you get easily, whatever easy comes, easy goes. When you get something really difficultly, you will cherish on that. When you cherish on that, it will remain continually in your life. When you get something easily, maybe you're going to remember a few days, then after that you got it gone. So that reason Buddha didn't give 49 days Dharma teaching. One is that reason. Second is, at that time, most of people worship the worldly beings, powerful like Indra and Brahma. So Buddha is waiting them to come. So you see some Buddhist statue, one is holding the conscious, one is holding the will, and Indra and Brahma is requesting to the Buddhas. So then Buddha said, first, when he achieved enlightenment, he said, it's a profound, free from elaboration, permanent, lucid, like a nectar. I accomplish, I achieve this Dharma or wisdom, but I cannot share anyone. Nobody is not that interested on that. Substitute wasn't the magic to be chicoin. So let the so even I try to explain, people are not going to get that one. So I'm just going to stay in the forest without talking. So Buddha stayed 49 days without talking, Dharma. Then Indra and Brahma came request to train the will of the Dharma. Then Buddha said, I have a tremendous, great compassion toward to the sentient beings. I'm not going to give Dharma teaching just easily when somebody asks me. But these planet beings, they treat Indra and Brahma as their savior. When they request, now finally I will give these teachings. So then Buddha was looking who can understand my. So he want to give teaching those earlier his teacher, his tutor who received instruction from different lineage. All of them gone, died. So finally he remembered the 5 those monks who close to him. That way Buddha Gaya went to Varanasi because they are staying in the Varanasi. Then he gave first will of Dharma in the Varanasi. So that is here said. They all what called the training will of the Dharma and passing into the supreme nirvana. Then after the age 82, Buddha passed in the Kushinagar. Parinirvana, it means they died. This is based on the Hinayana tradition. In the Hinayana tradition, long as you have this body, still you have remained some kind of suffering. So when you died, that is actually nirvana. So that way parinirvana. In the Mahayana tradition, Buddha achieved the parinirvana under the Buddha tree in Bodh Gaya. That's a little bit different. I'm just sharing you so that way you remember, you know. So this parinirvana is a originally kind of concept. It's come from the Hinayana tradition. Nowadays everybody use that way. It's all this place so impure. The Nirmanakaya show the deed as long as a wall endures. So impure because we are samsara. And Nirvana continually manifests this until the samsara is end. So we stop there.